Hello, friends. Nicholas here with DIVOted Talks, DIVOted Talks, where we take ancient wisdom and practices, shine it through a modern day lens and experience, and help people try to end suffering in theirs and their loved ones' lives. Oh, man. Books, 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 and crystals, crystals, crystals. It's kind of like the essence of all the things around my studio and around my house. I feel like each one has its own vibration, and with it carries the upliftment or the attunement that I can resonate with, through, and because of, for my growth and or sustainment or sustenance. And I know I'll eventually get around to reading these books, but I've had so many life changes, and in different ways over the last 13 years that, having time to read has just been really challenging, unless, of course, I was taking a course and then I forced myself to. But then I got into a place where I bought all these electronic courses and then I don't even have the books in front of me. So maybe it'll work through osmosis. What do you think? Yeah, I didn't think so either. But I will say that each one of them is a permission slip energetically in its own way. And while it may not have an immediate or an easily discernible effect, it still has and will do the things that it is meant to do, for sure. No questions at all about that. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's there to serve its purpose. Maybe somebody's going to walk into your house and find that book and they're going to take it, and it was meant for them all along, but you bought it thinking it was for you. What other possibilities exist outside of our very myopic position of experiencing life? It's a good question, right? It's a fantastic question, actually. And what about what that book might do for you? Because maybe something happens. And I'm not talking about just buying stuff to hoarderly buy stuff. I'm talking about you feel compelled in the moment to do that. Like, I've had books like jump off a shelf at me. And I'm like, I guess I'll take this too. I've also had that happen with gemstones and crystals. But things that belong to you will make themselves known. Things that do not will make themselves get gone. And your job in all of that is to not be too attached to whatever direction they're going. Letting the stream flow, letting the energy flow, letting the things move into the positions that they're meant to, right? Like houses settle, like things get warm and they change shape and warp. Maybe not perceptibly so, but more moisture creates one shape while dryness creates another, same with hot and cold. And so maybe your life is just settling, and some of these books are meant to settle into a position within your life. They're just not there yet, but they need to be there first so that they can settle, kind of like a game of Tetris. You can't clear the line or the level until everything around it is already lined up, and then you find that final piece that creates the matches. And if you don't know what Tetris is, well, look it up. I feel like it's just a common verb, common knowledge. Dang it. One of those early video games that impacted our generations and if it impacted our parents, it then impacted us as children and or children of children. So anyway, can you make space for the things that are meant to be there without judging whether it should or shouldn't, not compulsively hoarding, which is a, part of the yamas and the niyamas, and then not worrying about it being there, not being there later. Like, you're not attached to it, you're not hoarding it, you're not obsessed with it, either taking it, using it, but not having it control who you are. But in and of itself doesn't control you, who you are. Your relationship to things and your addiction, quote unquote. It's not really an addiction, but it's just a relationship, right? Some relationships are more addictive or shows tendencies to our definition of addicted than others. And so we could benefit a lot from stepping outside of labeling, stepping outside of overly analyzing things, not just from an analysis paralysis, but like I have to understand something, package something, put it all together, piece it all together, think it through for me to feel safe in my life, right? There could be a mild obsessive compulsive activity that is related to control, but because control gives us this illusion of feeling good and or makes us feel like our lives are progressing in the way that we thought they should, we let it go as being positive, when in reality it could be the very thing that is detrimentalizing our day-to-day activities or outcomes. How do we work with that? Yoga and Ayurveda would say that we practice the yamas and the niyamas, the personal practices that keep us clean and good with life and ourself, and the external practices socially that will keep us better in relationship to the world and community living and life, life in general. And those are just a small portion of the Yoga Sutras, but they're first, and there's 5 different components, each of them. And they're beautiful in the way that they encapsulate the human experience. And I think that was intentional, because even if you don't have the same words for it, we still understand doing no harm, staying clean, non-hoarding, non-attachment. These are important for living a good life. And some people come to understand this intuitively and on their own. Some people have been raised in circumstances and traumas and experiences that don't really allow that to easily happen. And that's okay too. What is being asked of you is presence. Because when you're present, you can be aware of what's happening. And when you're aware of what's happening, you can make educated choices. When you make educated choices, you can head in the direction that you intend. And when you head in directions that you intend, you are the manifester, you are the creator of your life. And then it doesn't feel so out of control after all. But controlling the outcomes doesn't make you in any more control than being aware of what's happening in the first place. And when you are aware of all of this stuff, you can be well and you can be free.